If only there was someone who was yelling about this for months and months and months. I think Kamala Harris not going on Joe Rogan is dumb. Straight up. She should have gone on Joe Rogan. Have you seen the New York Times and CNN polls? It's not looking too good. I'm not going to lie. I feel like, look, it's out of our hands, folks. There's not really much we can do. I don't really know where this will go, but I don't think Kamala's chances are as bad as the media is saying. Like, I think they're bad. They would have been much better if she ran a normal campaign. Look, I've been a Kamala truther on both ends. Okay, I've simultaneously been railing against their dog shit campaign while also saying that, like, listen, liberals, like, her chances are not that dire. You should still be worried, and you should definitely not capitulate the right-wing framing. Having said that, as the time went on, as she went on like television and whatnot, as she went on the news, as she made these media appearances, I kept seeing that the situation was worsening for her. Okay, and also something that I have said now, forecaster Anton is saying as well. To be fair, Edinger Mentum was also one of the first to call this out, but everyone looked at me like I'm crazy when I said the dynamic is very different now. Donald Trump could potentially win the popular vote and lose the goddamn general, lose the goddamn electoral college. Okay, and everyone looked at me like I'm a crazy person. You don't understand, man. Have you not been seeing who the Democrats are reaching out to? Have you not been looking at what the Democrats are doing? They're trying to win with the lowest marginal. They're trying to win with high propensity voters in like specifically targeted districts at this point. It's like inherently undemocratic. They literally were just like, hey, remember the electoral college? Yeah, we remember. We are going to we are going to craft our entire national campaign for like 8 suburbs in 7 goddamn states. Okay, 8 suburbs in 2 districts in 7 swing states. That's what they are literally doing a national campaign around. And that, for lower turnout, is significantly beneficial for the Democratic Party. That's their goal. Do you think Dems are still in a better position than before the Biden switch, or in the same one, even worse one? No, they're in definitely a better position than the Biden switch. What do you mean? Kamala Harris made up like 8 points, guys. What are we talking about? Like, over the course of a week, she shot up. It's a significantly better position, especially because there's a likelihood that she could still win. There was no likelihood that Biden was winning that election. Okay, so that's something to consider. That's definitely something you have to consider. The New York Times CNN poll finds Harris and Trump tied nationally at 48-48. Since the last poll, Trump has gained 2 points. Harris has lost 1. That's bad news. But note this for the final stretch: 15% are still not fully decided, and Harris leads with them. Yeah, good stuff. So Harris has made up a decent amount on like the economy question, which is surprising enough because a lot of resentment exists for the current administration in terms of the economy, and people just kind of like say it. I'm not even kidding when I say this. Trump is so bad. Obviously, Kamala Harris is bad too, but goddamn, Trump is so bad. The only thing he has on the economy is tariffs, and even the dumbest guy kind of understands, like, wait a minute, tariffs, like, doesn't that make everything more expensive? Like, how are you this up, dude? This is literally like every single thing that hurts Donald Trump. Every single thing that hurts Donald Trump is Donald Trump's own fault. Okay? There's no thing that the Democrats did so well that people are like very excited to vote for them. Can I come provide you my takes on the election, early vote in PA, etc.? I mean, I personally purchased polling in PA and understand how LV screens work, etc. Yes, Michael from Pennsylvania. I want to hear your Kamala Harris's cooked takes. I don't think Kamala Harris is as cooked. Like, polls are showing alarming signs. Momentum is not in her favor, but we shall see. Okay. I have maintained the position that I still think Kamala Harris has a likelihood of winning, even though that likelihood has gone down dramatically over the course of the past couple of months. Like every time she came out with a bold declarative agenda, it was always some dumb shit. And every time she had like a highlight, it was actually a low light. It sucked. But I see it. Like I look at the environment. I look at what's going on. I recognize that Donald Trump actually has a very limited avenue of victory here. I'm not so certain of Kamala Harris's electoral defeat still, but things are definitely not looking great for her. They're not. They have not. 44% with women. I want to know what that looks like for white women. I want to know what percentage of white women are voting for Donald Trump at the end of the process, okay? Because obviously it's like 66% of the entire population is white. So when Donald Trump is still capturing 44% of the women vote, I wonder if he still hits above 50% for white women. I think a lot of women will be voting one way and hiding it for their husbands. I mean, dude, I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting that at all. But I will say this. I think that is a dangerous thing to fantasize. Let's get back to the polls, baby.
Now, this is a national poll, as we have said until we're blue in the face, and we'll continue to say. Remind people that that is not how presidents are chosen. It's by the Electoral College and in battleground states. However, what this poll is telling us is some of the reasons why this race is so close in those battlegrounds as well. What is some of what you're learning behind those numbers?
Right. So, you know, lots of people on the Democratic side of the equation say, how could it be possible that it's tied? Why is Harris not running away with this? Well, it's the environment that she's running in. We asked folks, your financial situation over the past year. So today compared to a year now, a plurality, nearly half, 49%, say they are worse off today financially than they were a year ago. 35% say they're about the same. Only 16% say they're better off. I'll also just say we have Joe Biden at a low approval rating at 36% in this poll. We have the wrong track number. 7 out of 10 Americans say we're in the wrong direction. Things aren't going well. It's a rough environment if you're running in the incumbent party. So
I kept trying to debate my professor the shy Trump voter won't be significant of an effect because they're not as shy anymore, but he kept saying it's still going to impact the election. What do you think? I think your professor is wrong. I don't think that they're shy Trump voters necessarily, but they are Trump voters that might not be getting polled. What does that mean? They're not shy. They're just not from the normal avenues where, I mean, they're not shy. They're low or mid propensity voters. That's it. I think that is what the real problem here is, which pollsters, in an effort not to repeat 2016, have tried to combat against that by basically weighing the scales by at least 2 points in Trump's direction. Okay? It's not necessarily that they're shy Trump voters. It's that they are low or mid propensity voters that have a likelihood of voting for Donald Trump. Now, the problem with low propensity voters is, are they going to vote or are they not going to vote? That's why there's a lot of conversations around Trump potentially winning the popular vote and still losing the electoral college. If turnout is omega high in Florida, right? Because all of the crypto nuts are just going crazy in Florida or in red states, but his turnout in his conspiracy guys in like Pennsylvania or Michigan or all these other places are not actually coming out to vote, then, you know, he's cooked. He wins the popular vote and then loses the electoral college. What outcome is funnier, Trump victory or Kamala victory? I think neither is funny. I think both are shitty outcomes. This race is who you hate less. Every American election is who you hate less. The problem that I have with the Democrats in general, and it's kind of funny because like we're currently talking about how much I despise the Republicans, and then you ask me to talk about Democrats, and then of course I'm going to be honest and start shitting on the Democrats. But the problem here is my hatred for the Democratic Party is that they do not launch a real fight against the damage that Republicans contribute to American society. Okay? They don't do it. They're not doing it for one reason or another. They're just simply not doing it. And that's so frustrating to me. I'm like, I'm the one who actually hates the Republicans, not you. Okay? You don't hate Republicans. If you're like, so many Democrats just constantly behave like they actually don't have a problem with the Republicans at all. I still think Harris wins this, but at some point we should discuss how 2 months of outreach to Republicans produced no benefit whatsoever. All it did was stop her ascent and cap her support at 49%. This is correct. If only there was someone who was yelling about this for months and months and months. Okay?